Hello everyone. So today is the kickoff. Today is day one of the 21 days to the amazing power of what if, and I've asked people to post topics, and I hope I say your name right. It's Argalia, and I'm doing these this way. I know it looks better if you do it this way on YouTube, but this is just easier for me. So I hope I said that right, Argalia. So your topic is emotional eating, and I know something about this intimately. I had an eating disorder when I was younger. Many of you that have known me any period of time know that. And I'll tell you what ultimately helped me was I, at the time, was in a 12-step group, and I did get a sponsor, which helped me but I was ready for it. And that's what I would say. I was ready. I was at this place. I was so sick and tired of being sick and tired of that. I just was so willing to do whatever it took. And my one girlfriend who works with people like that said, that's actually really amazing, Marty, because it's really hard at times for people to get to that place. But I would say, if we have a different view of it, it doesn't have to be hard at all. I mean, I look back at that time in my life, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe how trapped and imprisoned I felt. I even have a group going right now. It's just a very small group of women. We've been together for a while, and I host it, and that's what we work on. And it's a deep, complex issue. And I would tell you in all my years doing this, what I think is the key behind anything like that is shame. I do think that we often carry a lot of buried shame. I know that was true for me. I know it's still true for me. That's just my theory on it. Hey, Barbara, there's a lot of shame that gets buried with emotional eating or drinking to excess or anything like that. But I would tell you the first key it's the practice of learning to have self-acceptance, self-compassion, and self-love. Because what I was doing was beating the crap out of myself over and over again. I'd start out the day and be like, today's going to be a good day. And within hours, it was out the window. And then I learned to make the entire day a mess. And what getting the sponsor helped me do was creep myself out of that. And that's what I understand now. I didn't know then, but I know now, is getting a sponsor who is helping me make these micro changes was slowly helping me to shift my neural pathways, because I was constantly putting interruptions in the pattern that I had going for so long and had a lot of momentum on. Shame is a biggie. Glad you're talking about this. Oh my gosh, it's so true, Barbara. I think I just had a conversation with someone. I was like, I had a brain fart there for a second. I had a conversation with someone about shame and how it just impacts so much of us. And I do believe that's just one of the more, buried emotions, because we're even shamed for feeling shame. I know I was in my Catholic upbringing. So what if it could be different? What if there's a way out of this? What if the way out is easing out of this? What if it's not like all of a sudden, today I start the new diet? Because if you think about it this way, you've got momentum going. And honestly, in the brain, it's impossible to just all of a sudden, I'm going to stop. I'm just going to stop. I mean, I guess you could tap through that it's impossible. But from a neuroscience standpoint, when we have momentum going in a way, it takes those interruptions. The interruptions are the best thing. I do remember my father was able to stop smoking cigarettes. He laid them down, but he had a sugar addiction. And you hear about people that stop drinking alcohol. Well, they eat a lot more sugar now. So in a sense, there's a switching of addiction. So the way out to really be free is to ease our way out. So let's tap. Karate chop. Even though I think I carry a lot of shame, and being an emotional eater in this culture carries tons of shame. Just stop. As if I could, I choose to acknowledge my truth right now. Even though I emotionally eat. And if I'm honest with myself, I really judge myself for this. And I get really down on myself. I deeply and profoundly accept myself now. I think that was 2, but I'm going to do one more. Even though I do emotional eating, and I bet if I look closer, I shame myself for that. But what if this emotional eating is actually self-protection? Go to the eyebrow. What if I've been seeing this the wrong way? What if I've been getting so down on myself about this emotional eating? And what if it's a way I'm protecting myself from whatever? What if just by thinking about it differently and practicing not shaming myself, what if over time that makes a big difference? What if this part of me that's emotionally eating needs my love and acceptance more than anything? And that's a practice. And what if I can ease myself to a new place? A new experience around emotional eating. And when I'm in the midst of emotional eating, what if I can practice making it okay? I kind of like that idea a lot. I didn't get to this place overnight. And what if freeing myself from self-judgment a little more each time I catch it starts to make some shifts? And what if I start to notice I'm judging myself a little less? What if I stop shaming myself so much? What if through learning to make it okay that I'm self-protecting this way, that compulsion to emotionally eat starts to lighten, starts to soften? And what if I find I just don't need to do it as much as I find that self-compassion? And what if that creates a space for whatever help I need to deal with this issue, to come to me with grace and ease? Take a breath. So that's where I would start. This is the starting point, is just to, I tell people in the group that I'm in, it's counterintuitive to what the diet culture tells you. I'm like, I would try not to diet, because that's my experience. That's what I would tell someone. And unless they're on a specific diet that's given to them by a doctor and they have to do that for, these purposes, it's really important they do that. But even in those instances, sometimes it's like if you're mandated, quote, to do something like that, it can feel like, whoa, the brain will tend to resist it. So to me, the first step is that just noticing it, start to practice noticing, wow, there it is. Like, notice what happens for you after you've emotionally eaten. I would tell you, if it's anything like me, there's massive judgment and shame that comes after that. And like, oh God, I thought I was going to do okay. And it's this vicious cycle that goes into place. And I would tell you, when I got the sponsor that I had, sometimes the only thing that stopped me from emotional eating was I just didn't want to call her and tell her I'd done it. I just didn't. That day I was like, I don't want to call her today and tell her I'd done it. Other days I would go ahead and do it and I'd call her. But what I was slowly but surely doing was I was rewiring things. And then I found tapping. And tapping really helped without me even knowing it. I never tapped on that issue specifically at once, but I was clearing out all this other stuff. And all of a sudden I noticed all these other little habits that I had around emotional eating. Like, I just had no desire to do them anymore. I chose to stop. So sorry, I heard a delivery truck just pull up, but it became a choice, and it became easy and desirable. So I hope that was helpful. Barbara, great to see you here, and we'll see you back here tomorrow for day 2. Bye for now.